And one fish, two fish. And one fish, two fish. Well, that's loud to me. I don't know. Let me just. Oops. Somebody clicked on mod view instead of volume. Oops. Somebody clicked on mod view instead of volume. That's better. Oops. Somebody clicked on mod view instead of volume. Yo, Art. We got a Murga. I see CS Bond in the house. Yo, Art. Hey, bye. Murga. I see CS Bond. I still have that echo. All right, let's check the YouTube ski. Hey. Murga. I see CS Bond. I still have that echo. All right, let's all right, YouTube ski's good. Twitch ski's good. I think my camera's lined up. I'm just a little chilly, so I'm wearing the Jedi robe. You know what? I'm gonna add a sound effect to Atherin's shout out, and then we're gonna model some shoes. We're gonna start in Blender, probably hop over to Marvelous Designer real quick, then back into Blender. That's kind of the plan, and it's gonna go with that outfit that we made the bag for. Did some textures for that, so I'll show that off. I picked up a few merchant resources with a little extra spending money from Renderosity. So I'm going to use those to texture this outfit with. There's some cool stuff in there. Let's see how this is looking. Let's put you there. Bring you over here. I am going to get to. We are going to find that. Because Atherin wanted a fart. Honest. that's what he said. So we're going to see if we can find a fart noise, and we'll add it as a sounder for Atherin. I don't know if I got a sound for DZ yet. And I don't think I got a sound for Emerga. What kind of sound would be good for Emerga? Opening a beer, pouring a beer, pouring a beer. There we go. So we're going to find a sound for Atherin, and we'll find a sound for Emerga. But I'm showing off stuff first. Hold on. There we go. Do that. Then we're going to update that sound. So I'm going to go. I pay money to Elements and Vado, so I might as well go over there and see if they've got anything. Anyhow, the current, I'm calling this summer flow. It is currently looking like this. And we got the bag, which I'm going to pose. It's a big bag because it's a summer bag, and you're supposed to carry all the stuff you're going to the beach in. We have some materials for the dress. I got the bag selected. I have a couple of flower designs. These were in a merchant resource I picked up just yesterday. That, and then we have these glimmery. That doesn't look very impressive. But they look nice. Good thing she's got underwear on. Anyhow, I'm going to do that. So anyhow, we're going to make shoes for this. And I found some nice. Because I'm in a summer mood. I've been doing a lot of sandals. These are going to be a little more sophisticated than that last pair we did, which was basically a flip flop with some beads added to it. But first, let's do the sound things. I'm over on screen 2 just to see how much I dox myself. I'm not doxing myself for here. We'll do sound effects. And let's look for pouring a beer. And I'm gonna, can I exclude PRO? I'm gonna do that just because it makes my life simpler. Beer pouring. Audio jungle. Audio jungle. was that first part?
Audio Jungle.
I didn't like that first part. The pouring's okay. But if you're going to do a... It didn't sound like...
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
That's a little long. Hold on for just a second. Okay, I'm back. I think I'm back. Anyhow, let's try...
Audio Jungle.
That's too long.
Audio Jungle.
I don't know if I liked that one.
Audio Jungle.
That's too long. So less than 10 seconds is my sweet point. So actually, let's put that one over there. Opening and pouring here. If we can get a good bottle cap sound, but if we're getting like a pop top.
Audio Jungle.
I don't know. That was a really nice clean pop top though. It sounded exactly like a pop top was supposed to. Pouring beer into a glass, 20 seconds, pouring beer.
Audio Jungle.
I kind of like that one. You know what? I think we're going to just go with the pouring. There we go. No content ID, no PR affiliation. That just makes my life simpler. It's not that I'm being a pirate or anything. Arg. That's going to be for my spring 2025. License and download. Pop over. I got to go open up my downloads, grab a copy of this, stick it over into the... so let's... in downloads. I'm over on screen too, so hold on. We'll catch up with you. Let's cut that. Come over here, online. Maybe I double clicked again, didn't I? Online, Twitch. This is going to go into sound bits. It just plays Invados Spring 2025. Paste the main file there. I've got two WAV files. I've got an MP3 and a WAV file. We'll use the MP3. Copy that. Paste that there. Pouring beer. Alrighty. All right, we're going to do this. I don't think we have a... we're going to do actions. You know what? I'm going to modify the art command. So let's make a copy of that. This will be Merga. Okay to that. Over here. Create a command. Merga. Actually, I don't need that. Do that. So the command will be this. And we'll just make it available for everybody. Although the only person that uses it is Charles. Now Art's going to use it too when he wants a cold one. All right, and we're going to update the sound with the pouring sound. So let's do that. Pouring beer. There we go. I think that's good. Should be okay. I'm going to hit save on this. Let's test it out and see how it works. I did not see it. Dang. Do I have to capitalize it? Did I misspell it? Can I edit? Trigger command trigger. Why did I not hear you? Because I misspelled Emerga. That's my problem. How do I edit you? Edit trigger. And you know what? Do I just want to delete create command? Let's try this again. Try that. There we go. That's better. So we've got our emerga command. I need the Atherin command now. Let's do that. Once again, I'm just going to copy art just because it's conveniently there at the top of the list. Nope, 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 nope. Duplicate. Delete. Atherin. Did I spell that right? I can't remember now. Can I not type? I can't type over there while I'm doing this. Oh well. There we go. Okay. Moving along now. So we're going to create a new one here. Exclamation point, Atherin. Okay, I need to change that sound. So let's see if we can find a fart. All right. Hey.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
I think that one.
Audio.
Yeah, we're going with that. There we go. That's our winner right there. Who's fart? All right, let's get that. You're part of the Streaming Spring 2025 license and download. Good with that. So we're done with that part. Just gotta pop back over to his downloads. On. That folder's empty. What do you mean this folder's empty? I'm in the wrong downloads. Is that what it is? There it is. All right, cut that. We're going back over to sound bits folder. I'm going to stick it in there. I can remember how this works. Which, there we go. Sound bit. I'm going to put that in this folder here. My Envato stuff. Paste that. Okay, it's only a WAV file. Let's hope that's okay. Oh, I forgot to check the usage on this too. Dang it. Let's just double check and make sure I don't. Oh, loose fart. Affiliated with something, so I'm not going to use that one. Never mind. And the reason I don't like the rights is I'm just lazy and I don't want to have to deal with.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Big fart was kind of gross. That might be a little too much. That is not a fart.
Audio Jungle.
That's a hand fart.
Audio Jungle.
That's a good one right there. Let's see what that one. Let's see what these on that. Anything? No PR affiliate. No YouTube content registration. Yay. I like that. All right, now let's try this one. Go in folder, cut that, back over to here, paste that there, pop in. What do we got? I got an MP3 and a wave. I'm going to use that MP3. And that should be. Yep, all right. We're good. We're good. So we're going to update this. And that was that one right there. And we'll test it. Okay, we're good. We'll double check, make sure the Atherin command now works properly. There we go. And we've, I don't know if you were here, Emerga, but we added a sound. There we go. I don't know if you heard that. Anyhow, that's it. We're done messing around with adding sounds to commands. Moving along to making shoes. 20 minutes later, you were cooking, and someone kept playing beer pouring sounds. Now I'm thirsty. You heard everything. Okay. Yes. Oh, you didn't hear it because you were in the voice chat. Is that what you were wanting, Charles? Okay, I'm gonna pop into. You know what? I'm just gonna open up my shoe folder. Oh yeah. Hey, Kool-Aid. That's a different kind of oh yeah. Blender. Activating my blender. What are you? What I got going on in here? Nothing. I got a perfectly good blender. Let's go open up my generic shoe file. You know, actually, I'm gonna do it. Let's do it from here. I think I'm gonna have this fit a. We're gonna model to a Genesis 8, and then we'll fit it to the. Whatchamacallit. Genesis. We're gonna model Genesis 9, then fit the Genesis 8. That's what I'm gonna do. So here, let's just hide this for a second. Let's just whip a basic G9. I'm going to pose. There's going to be a little bit of a heel. Let me see if I can find the shoe I was thinking about doing. I may have lost it again already. Somewhere in here. Coach. Was it Coach? It was Coach. Here we go. So I'm going to make a simple sandal kind of like this. Although these square toes seem to be the thing these days, I am not entirely fond of that look. But I think that's nice and carry. I'm going to probably round it off a little bit. Although I like the big straps that kind of cross over. So I kind of like that look. So I'm going to do something. And I think we'll just put a. Do I want a heel on here? Or do I just want to do like a weird low wedge thing? Or do I want to just do it flat? I think I'm going to do a low wedge. without a heel. And ours isn't going to say coach. So I'm going to just bend this foot ever so slightly. Start with this one here. Control F. Just a little bit, maybe 5 degrees, if even that much. I say 5. Yeah, I think I'll do 5. We'll just do a -5. Bring that toe up. Mirror that over to the other side. We are going left to right. I'm just going to save you. Actually, I just did selected and I want to do that. There we go. And we're just going to save this out as a modeling guide. Select you. I'm going to go ahead and reduce the resolution before we export out. Mass resolution. Let's just do that at base. You my export. You are my export. Summer blush. We want to go to over here and whip. And you know what? I'm going to put in a subfolder in here for the shoes. Just makes it easier to work on stuff. Did Coach call that a sandal, or is that just, should I call that a sandal? Cross sandal. I am going to call you a sandal. Sandals. We'll do that. This will be G9. Summer Flow Sandal. There we go. Save that there. Tap that. Pop back over into Blender. Bring that in. This close? This is close. Okay. And I only need the feet. And we're going to use this in Marvelous Designer to model. We're going to make the sole, send it out to Marvelous Designer, put the cross strappy stuff on it, and then bring it back and the detailing out. So it's like, I don't know, 20% Marvelous Designer, 80% Blender. Let's do this. Let's get a plane in here. Tap in, scale. Scale that way. Tap out. I'm going to rotate this a little bit. Rotate so that my center line on this kind of runs with the center line of the foot. You know what? I should put a cut in here. And we're going to need a couple cuts there. And let's switch you over to, so I can kind of see, let's not, there we go. So I can kind of see my lines and make it maybe a little easier to line up. And then we can take advantage of local orientation. I think my rotation could be a little bit more like that. Probably good. Now in here, when I do local and G and Y, I'm moving along the axis there, so that's good. I can't see anything because Blender's in the way. I try to remember how to do shoes again. Be the heel. Let's take you guys. Yo. Over to about there. You out like that. You in maybe. You in. We're going to pull the front of this down. Position that. The back's in a good spot already, though. We do want to put a subdivision modifier on here. We're going to do that. You'd think after a year or so I would be used to this one. That's a solidify. I undo? Nope. I can't undo adding a modifier. I have to actually just go kill it. Generate subdivision surfaces. There we go. And you're just awkwardly placed. So let's see if we can fix this a little better. Grab these. I'm gonna bring that down a little bit. Just that. And you know what? Do I want to just slide that back? Maybe somewhere in here. Maybe I'll take that toe up a little bit. Do I want another loop cut in the front, though? I don't know. I could probably get away with this. Just because the way I did that is a little... Is that going to be good? I think that's going to be fine. Going to improve the shape a little bit. Probably. Do I want that heel back just a bit more, though? Maybe just a little. I think that's probably going to be good. So in order to get this to work well, it's always an adventure to see if Marvel's Designer will recognize my mesh. So we're going to pop over here to UV editing, and then unwrap. That not work? Pretty close. Let's try the, am I not getting the, oh, here's my options. Never mind. I used the subject, there we go. I apply. I'm thinking. One thing, I do want the... I think this is good. I'm actually thinking about how they're going to build the shoe. Get a strap that's going to come over here, a strap that's going to come over here, and then the heel strap come off of those two. One comes over here, buckle goes on the outside, another one wraps around the heel. I'm probably going to just wrap it, and then we'll cut it and add where we're going to put the buckle. I think I'm going to apply my modifier. Let's pop out here. And let's tweak. Do I want 2 levels on this? And Control A. Yeah, I think that's a good density. We are going to re-UV map that now to smooth it out. Looking good. All right, let's try to save. I'm going to scale that down just a little bit so it's not riding those edges. And I think this is good. Let's try this. Let's see if this works. Yeah. Is this going to re-grid this? Back to layout. Let's export. Let's use the DAS preset, so I'm only saving out the so over here. Flow, sandal, sole. Do that. This all looks good. That all looks fine. All right, let's launch Marvy Designer. Also, I'm going to resave just the foot. Let's dupe you, hide that, tab into here, look at it from the front. Let's do the X-ray. That'll make things go a little bit quicker. I'm just going to grab that part, and we're going to delete all of that. Just going to save the sandal foot. That's what we're going to use as an avatar in Marvelous Designer to work against. Boom, 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 boom. I think we're good here. I should probably save this file. That might come in handy later. Yo, Arva. Arva. How are you doing? I'm doing well, thanks. We're making shoes today. I got the dress I'm currently working on for the next thing I'll send to Daz is this. I'm going to make shoes to go with it. And we've got our little summer bag, so I'm going to add shoes. So that's what we're doing today. So right now I have made basically a sole shape in Blender, and we're going to then bring that into Marvelous Designer, add the straps, and then bring it back into Blender for detailing. And I'm saving my blend file before I forget. So Summer Flow sandals, there we go. Save that. Should be good. Let's park over. I'm here, but got to drive now. Alrighty. Well, no typing while driving, Art. Don't die, Art. Don't die. That's all. I've forgotten what I'm doing. I'm launching Marvelous Designers. That's right. Atharva, I don't know if I've asked before, but if you got links you want to... Oh, you're on the YouTube, though. I don't know if I disabled that, though. I would say share the links, but I'm not sure if YouTube will punish you. I have it set up so Twitch won't. Also, always feel free to join the Discord. If you want to share links, do that through the Discord as well. I won't notice that during stream. I'm lucky if I'll notice anything that happens in Discord later tonight. I can be bad that way. All right, let's file, import, add, obj, summer blush. We are working on this one over here. Let's go to sandals. I'm going to use... Where did my foot go? Did I not save my foot? Did I overwrite my soul? I did not overwrite my soul. Okay. I can tell because that's only 16 kilobytes. That is totally not a foot. Let's try that. Okay, I got my foot. That looks about right. Add avatar. We're going to do meters scaled at 100%. I don't need any of this stuff, actually. We don't need a fitting suit for a foot. I don't actually need to do arrangement points. It would whine. Okay, now we're going to bring in the sole. Let's see if I can actually get the sole in this time. I hit the wrong button because I'm in the wrong program. Import add obj to garment. Want that right there. And we're going to add as a garment. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Did you simulate? Looks like you simulated. Or I've got, oh, I got a little deformation. I got deformation. Dang it. I got to back up a little bit here. Wah. I should have saved a copy of this before. Are we back? There we go. What are you doing over there? It's to be like right in there somewhere. I probably grabbed the wrong handle when I was doing something like this. All right, I think I'm going to go with that. So let's apply. So this time I'm going to remember to duplicate. I don't have to go back through all that pain of undoing stuff and hoping that I didn't lose something. So 1, hide that. Of course, so okay, let's apply this. All right, I gotta, in order to use this in Marvelous Designer, we need to put UV mapping on it. And I'm just gonna make that a little smaller and make sure I'm not falling outside the borders. Back over to here. We export. This time we're just doing the sole again. Nope. Yep. Export. Here, delete, re-import. Import add obj to garment. And I forgot to tell it to make a pattern. The trace 2D pattern. That's what we want. This is actually going to end up remeshing it, I think. But on the other hand, I actually get a 2D pattern I can sew on. It's good. Let's see what it looks like. Does one of you show me my wireframe? Yep. Uh, somewhere in here, there it is. Pod optimized. That's what it's going to do. And now I want to take some straps. And let's see how this, so I've got a view I'm using as a guide. So that's a bit more than an inch. Maybe we'll call that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2 straps and I'm going to sew them across, and then I'm going to add the stuff that goes behind the heel. I'm going to sew this to this, flip it over, and sew it over here. This doesn't happen to show a foot, does it? I just get that. That's covering the pinky, isn't it? That's actually covering the last 2. So we're going to cover the pinky. Come over into about here. I'm going to start with a like that, and I'm going to say 100, and let's try 35, 30. I'll go with 30. Okay, and we're going to go all the way over there. I know. I think I do want that to be a little bit bigger. Let's sew it to this right here. I think somewhere in here. And I'm going to adjust the shape to fit a little bit better right now. And then I actually want this to come all the way over to here. Do that. This is definitely too short. And I totally want to move that back. Now I think I'm just going to make this longer, and we'll also optimize it a little bit. Sorry, but your mechanic broke the high pressure line on the Escalade AC. Oh no. This is just the wrong time. Of course, this is when you break your AC. Because it has been used all winter. Of course, you probably had the AC on already. What am I thinking? It's May already. But optimize that. And you know what? I'm just going to do that. And we'll do this. And oops. I forgot to, you know what I gotta do? We gotta just freeze this. This isn't supposed to move. Also, I'm a little bit below ground, so I gotta make an adjustment there. So that is frozen. And we need to set up our ground plane because this is going to get weird right over here where it's not going to go through the ground. See how it did that? It didn't want to go through the ground, but it ended up going. So I need to kind of make an adjustment to the simulation settings, I think. Actually, is it in the simulation properties? The ground? Ground, there it is. So I do have collision. You know what? I could just check that off and it should be fine. And what I can do is I know I can make some adjustments to this and this so that we can pull in a little bit. And I'm just going to make a copy of this and put it on the other side. Start making adjustments to it. So let's do the do that. Bring you up here. Can I control F you? Good old control F you. I need to make a command that does that. All right, so I'm going to take this over to here. Then I'm going to just sew this somewhere in here. Oh, hey, that actually worked this time. Oh, no, it didn't. Psych. I fell for that, didn't I? All right, I kind of like that. Okay, we're going to make some adjustments to the shaping on that, though. Kind of relieve the stretching. Let's take a look at our stress map. Actually, I don't really have any bad stress in there. I am going to, you know what? I think I'm just going to leave. I think I'm going to go with that. And then I'm going to set it up. Let's take a look at this. Is it a little farther back? Are these a little thicker? These might be a little, I might make these just a little bit thicker. Then I'm going to take a strap and run it around the back ankle. I think I want these to be a little higher. Maybe we'll slide you back a little bit. Slide you back a little bit. And I think, what if I make these thicker? I have to adjust these now in here though, don't I? I'm getting a little strain right there. This one looks. I'm getting a little strain here. Maybe. Okay, so now I have just a little too much there. Is that what I'm seeing? I'm gonna have to adjust. That's sewing just a little bit like that. That looks good. And then I'm just gonna kind of do the same thing over here. I'm gonna just take this, maybe just run it out just. Adjust that. Yeah, I think that'll be good. And now I want to put a strap. It's going to come off here, come around here, and go to the other side. And then we're going to chop that up to add a whatchamacallit to it later. A buckle eventually will go on there. And I don't want it to be too thin. I think I'll start with 20 and then go from there. And there's a, can I measure? If I can measure across, hey, wait a minute. It remembered where my toolbar was. The old version didn't do that. Every time I opened before, the old version had it up here. But today, it's where I left it. Wow. Wow. There's a measuring tool in here somewhere, I think. There it is. Edit measure avatar. Can I just click points and get a measurement out of that? Is that how it works? That would be too easy. No, that's a attach measure avatar. That's probably what I need. I just, nope. Basic tape measure avatar. Try getting a measurement there, so it kind of tells me we're going to make this about 200 by 20. So 200 by 20. Say okay to that. All right, let's optimize that mesh. There we go. I'm going to set that up behind the heel here. Where are you? You are over here. I can't I have the strain map on, so I don't get my manipulator. There we go. Why? I don't know. That just drives me crazy. That's a relatively nice thick. Okay, so I'm gonna take this and sew it right into here. I'm probably going to adjust these angles a little bit, but to start with, oh, I might just adjust them now. Just maybe add a 1 and a 2. 1 and a 2. And can I, this used to be a real pain to sew in the 3D view, but I think, did you get any better? Do I have to double click? Hey, it's still a pain. It says double click. Which way did I go? I think I went this way. I think I want to put that. Is that right? I don't know. I think that's not gonna. Then we'll just try. Nope. 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 It has a real hard time registering that double click. Hey, Rod, how are you doing? Which is a shame because it's so much easier to figure out where I want to put things in. All right, let's escape that. Let's come over here, and I'm going to do it over here. I don't know where I want to do. I have no idea which way I went. I think I went like that way. All right, how are you looking? You're a little loose. We can tighten that up. It's because I added 40 that way. It's Rod Shelley. Ooh, dentist time again. Well, you really do like that dentist of yours, don't you? And actually, I got to read everything. The damn TMJ thing. About to make my head explode last night. TMJ, temporal mandibular joints. Ooh. I'm sorry, dude. I hope you're feeling better soon. So a simple $100 AC charge just grew. Ouch. All right, I'm going to tweak these a little bit. We're making shoes, by the way, if anybody's wondering. What? Shoes again? Yes, shoes again. All right, that's fitting a little bit better. So that could be a little shorter in there. Just a little shorter in there. Actually, you know what? If I drag this up a little bit, I think I'm going to put these up a little higher, maybe. That one's pretty high. Maybe I want to bring that one down just a little bit. I don't know. Where are you? Oh, maybe we pull you down just a skosh. Then I'm going to run that one up just a skosh. I think that's good. That strap's actually a little thicker, and I need to take a little bit out from there and there. Then I have to readjust this. Shoes. Wow. Yeah, imagine that. Shoes. We've never seen me make shoes before, have we? Maybe just a little bit there. A little bit there. And I'm going to tweak that just a little bit. That. And tweak that just a little bit. Do I want to go with that? So what I'm thinking I might do is just merge these onto there. And we're probably going to put a split in here and add stuff for a whatchamacallit. Oh, Art said something. Little all, so I'm home at the moment. Okay. I'm going to take a look at my guide, my inspiration. Do I want that strap up higher? No, I don't want to look at similar products. No. Stop. No. I think I'm going to make this a little shorter. I kind of like these curves in here, so I'm going to merge this on here, and then we're going to do a little bit of curving out, I think. But I do want you to be maybe a wee bit shorter. Drag that down just a little. That. I think I want to put a split in the back to a little bit shorter still. I'm going to adjust the sewing on here just a little bit because that's changed now that I've changed the size of the. That's going to go there. Pull you up there. I think I'm going to slide this one up a little. Which one are you? I think you're this one here. Now can I just now will this magic? I got to put a cut in here. Actually, I'm going to put my cut right about there. That's about where I'm going to put in a buckle at some point. And I might want to add a. That's good. That actually fixed the shape of the geometry a little bit too. So I'm going to do a cut and sew on that. And let's take a look. Okay, so that goes that way, and this goes this way, and there's going to be a loopy thing. So I'm going to do an offset pattern outline. Let's say 50. And we're going to leave that internal line. I'm going to say, okay. Let me see where my sew line went. Dang it. That's still, yeah, that's there. So I don't want that there. Also, I'm going to move you out a little, just a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit of geometry to that. So I think maybe we'll do a 10 on that. Offset pattern outline. Let's say 10 on that. Let's create the internal line and say, okay. Then I'm going to sew that to that. Now let's see if I can get some merging done here. Will that just merge? That will not just merge. I need to add points in here to make a nice merge. So you are 22.7. Let's see where. I want to put a point right there. I want to add a point right there. I'm going to just redo sewing here. Oh, that was the wrong point. That's 21.7. Dang it. That's okay. We got tools. I gotta drag that over there till it says 21.7. Now I'm going to resew. Actually, can I just merge you? After that, I get a merge option now. Boom. All right, and then over here, that's the 22.7. That is the 22.7. So that has to line up right about in here. And I got some sewing in here. We're going to get rid of that. I'm going to merge that up. Merge that. Let's try that the other way. I don't want that piece moving over there. I want this piece moving down here. So it might be the order I select things and merge. There we go. And I'm going to curve these out. There's a curvy tool for that. Smooth curve. Let's put some cool. I'm paying attention to those numbers. So I'm going to do, you know what, I'm going to set these all to about 20. That. So they all look kind of even. Wouldn't it be cool if you could just type in numbers? That's one of the things this program lacks is a way to um, find how far you want to make something. It should, Blender brings up a little pop-up window when you use tools and allows you to type in what exactly you want to do. Okay, so that's sort of working. If we strengthen these, that's going to work. I'm going to round that out, but I'm going to do that over, and this is going to loop around a buckle. So I don't actually want these. I don't want those sewn together, but I think I'm going to pin them together so that it's actually not connected like that. Let's see if that does the trick. That does what I want it to do. There's a tack. I'm going to kind of zoom in, and I'm going to just like tack from here to here. And I'm going to come down here, kind of do the same thing, tack from there to there. And can I just delete you? Are my tacks still there? What happened to my tacks? I went to all the trouble to add tacks, and then I just ignored them. Oh no, they're there. Oh, they are holding things in place. Okay, excellent. That's close enough to start with. I think I'm going to tack you back to there. Oakley dokley. I think I'm good. I think I'm going to. Yeah. So this. So let's Well, I don't need to organize this over here because we're just going to re-UV map the whole thing in whatchamacallit in Blender anyhow. So anyhow, to save this. So that's the portion for Marvelous Designer to kind of get that basic strap in place. File, export. Let's do a save as first. File save as project. And we're going to stick you over here. Summer blush, whip. That's not summer blush. Summer flow, whip, sandals. SF sandals. I'll know what that means. I'm going to export out these parts here. And I could probably make real shoes like this. Although I might need a little adjustment in this pattern piece here. If I was making this for real, I would probably bring this over here and see how that is and then trimmed it off a little bit. Anyhow, OB file. Export OBJ selected to, yep, right there. And Summer Flow sandals. We're going to do that. Sandal R. How the heck do you remember all that? It takes a while. You have to kind of keep at something regularly. Stuff I don't do regularly is just falling completely out of my brain, and I'm constantly finding myself going, I did this like 4 months ago. So thin, welded. I don't need an image size. I do need that. And I'm in meters. I think I'm good. All right. I think we can hide this and we can bring in. That's the wrong button. That's the right button. There's something in here that says R. There we go. Let's see what this is looking like. If I hide that. There we go. That's the start of our sandal. And now we're just going to give it thickness. And we're going to rework in a buckle in here. So first things first, we're just going to pull that sole down a couple of times. Let's tab in. Actually, let's start doing materials while I'm thinking about it. So here, let's start with sole. Are you doing anything? Then we're going to add straps. Got to keep the ring. So that's it. It's just repetitiveness. I used to be really good at making rockets. I don't know if I can do that anymore. Because honestly, it's been 3 decades now? Damn! Did we crush the commies that long ago? Straps. So, let's do this. UV editing. Everything's a hot mess. Control L. I just need to, while we're here, and I'm probably going to have to redo this anyhow. Something in here is seams from islands. There we go. Looking good. Alrighty. Back over into here. Can I just do this? Control L and Control L, and then assign those to straps. And let's give straps a color. And if I come over here, see that? Let's give sole a color. Made a lot of rockets. Yeah, I made a lot of rockets during the Cold War. Control L. Let's do an extrude. Kind of like that. That did not do what I wanted it to do. Let's try this again. Control Shift and maybe Shift D. Yeah, Shift D will do the trick. Then I can just fill that in. Am I going the right way with that? I am not. There we go. Then I can just do this. Will you just run around the edge? Probably not. It's probably going to stop right there. It's not even doing that. I just bridge loops. Bridge edge loops. I got to see which way my orientation's going. Let's do the face orientation. Okay, red is bad. Blue is good. I see red. I'm going to, what was the control N? Nope. Flip normals. There's the flip normal thing I've already forgotten. Mesh normals. Alt N, Shift N. Calculate outside. Shift N might do the trick. Worst you ever did was put some guy through a window one time? Ooh. This was yeah, the misalignment would make him go boom. Well, they would deliver things that would go boom. They were big too. I could stand on the inside of one and just touch the other side. But they've all been retired now, which actually isn't a bad thing. Can I just control E that? Bring you down. I guess not. Control Shift N. Shift N. Why am I not? There we go. That's what I wanted. And then what we'll do is we're just gonna. What is the green? The green's the Y. SY0. So it's gonna have just a slight little wedge to it. I think I'm going to put a little seam right in here. So actually, you know what? I want to slide this down a little bit. It was a job. That's just once you want to see one of those big ones lift off. Yeah, I never saw any lift off. Are we good here? I think we're good here. Hey, Napsmore, how are you doing? They didn't have a bigger one. You know, actually, we did reduce forces. You only need so many nuclear weapons to destroy the world. And at a certain point, we were just making the Russians look bad. I'm going to clear those seams. I think I'm getting there. I think what I want to do is now extrude the straps. I want to assign this to strap. So we're going to do that. These are going to be part of the straps. Maybe I should slide these. Nah, I'm going to do it like that. It's going to be a little janky. And Absmore, welcome, by the way. I saw you sneak in here. Ever since they had one rocket crash back in its footprint. They only launched the male mute rockets or something similar at Wallops Island. I know. Does Napsmore have links? You play Kriebel's? That's right. I think I am. We could just do a regular shout out Kriebel Space Program so you can at least simulate the big ones. Ooh, yeah. Here, we'll do a shout out for you. What is links? They're the things that are missing. And as soon as you find one, somebody says, no, you got to find another one. I don't believe that link is the right link. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm talking about missing links now. Am I good? I'm assigning materials. I'm assigning materials. Assign. Why are you blue? You're not supposed to be blue anymore. You're supposed to be good colors. They fixed this. What version of Blender did I open up? 4.1. Dang it. I'm going to save this and open up 4.4. Hit save. Where are we at? I think I was saving that somewhere. You know, I probably launched a blend file instead of launching Blender. So the new version of Blender, you don't see that weird blue anymore. You want to put 4 or 5 of your TN girls on top of that one. Kind of like Blue Origin. Wow, 2024, more than 10 years ago. Not quite yet, dude. All right, let me see. Can I open you up? File. Is this in my recents by any chance? It is not. File. How do you do this thing? Open. Let's not save. All right, we're going to casually wait for Blender to get around to trying to look for something. You know, that's that virus that Microsoft is uploading to Windows 10. Am I in the right spot? Where am I? I'm heading in the right direction. There we are. See, that's better. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I can see the red, and I can see my normal colors. And I have assigned those to straps. Excellent. And then I want this to be part of my straps. I want this to be part of my straps. Is good. Now I think I want to add a little bit of thickness to the straps. So let's select the straps and the Control Shift and nope, that's not it. Extrude faces along normal. There should be a thing over here so I can actually type in a number. 0.0015. Is that too much? Yeah, I think maybe just 0.001. Although before I do that, I want to tweak some stuff over here. Let's undo that. I'm going to adjust a few points. GG. No. Try this again. That's better. I want that to just be shaped a little bit better. It looks a little more natural coming through here. Likewise, I'm going to smooth that out a little bit. I'm going to go have that. Hey, thanks for popping in, Rod. Take care, buddy. She says nice shoes. Tell her thank you. Let's see. I think maybe we GG those just a little bit like that. Slide those a little bit like that. I'm going to come over here and kind of tweak. You know, that looks fine. But this could use a little bit of loving. A little McLovin. All right, I think that's good. So now we're going to, I'm going to isolate just the straps for right now. Let's just select the straps and hide everything else. Then I can do a, it used to be, we'll just extrude. You know what, I'm in the wrong. Extrude faces along normal. There we go. Then over here I can just type in. Look at that. I can type numbers in. And it does what I want. How freaking weird is that? Okay, those are good. I'm going to expand that. We're going to invert that. That should have wrapped the inside, right? No, I got nothing on the inside. My extrude failed me. Maybe I just need to add thickness. I gotta fix this. Here, let's hide that. When I do an extrude, is there an option when I extrude along normals to leave the interior in there? Extrude faces along normals. Do that. I don't want to flip my normals. Offset even. 0.001. I think maybe I just have to solidify it. And then we bring it back in and weld it back on. I think we're going to do that. Tab out. I'm going to come over into here. We're going to put a solidify modifier on there. And we want the offset to go away, and I want it to just be 0.001, kind of like that. Probably good. Apply that, and then let's join those together. Tab in, make everything visible, and once again, we'll just weld by distance, and everything should be connected, right? Okay, there we go. Okay, so one thing I do want to do is I do want to just, I should have, I want to assign a strap interior material on the inside of these. Let's do that. We're getting there. Then we'll do an insole. Then we'll finish up the sole. And we'll think about on the buckle a little bit. I should have. We will put a subdivision modifier on this at some point. So at some point, we're going to round that off like that. But here, let's get the. I click on there. There. That went around that way. Didn't want it to do that. That's because you're that's fine. So make a new material strap inside your strap interior strap. Strap. Straps. Underside. And I want to put an underscore in there because Blender will add it anyhow. That. What I should do is just select the straps, hide everything else. Then I can just kind of work on. You know what? I think if I do this, did that go all around? It did. I can do it. Up hide. And I can kind of do. Can I do the same thing with you? And hide you. And do. I think I have these. L those. Is that right? I think so. And assign. And I should be good. Alt H. All right, there, I got the interior set up. Let's work a little bit on here. I want a little bit of a divot right there. Means I'm going to put a little cut in here. I'm just going to pull that down a little bit like that. Only try that again. Edge slide. If I say edge slide even, you know, you really aren't liking me much here, are you? We're getting there. Yo, Esram, how are you doing, buddy? That's what I wanted. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm making shoes. They're gonna go with a summery outfit. I'm doing well. How are you? Everybody, check out the man Esram. I don't know if you streamed. I missed you last week if you did. But I did catch you the week before when you were streaming Wings. Get to see Gary Cooper. Don't blink or you'll miss him. And that cutie Clara Bow. Control N. Yeah, my Control N got changed. I used to be able to just extrude along normals as a shortcut key. Well, you did the Red Mill Saturday. I missed it. Dang. I distract easily. Ooh, shiny. All right. Extrude faces along normals. Just going to put that in a little bit like that. And I'm just going to put a little loop cut through there. I'm going to clean this up. I'm going to delete that. Delete that. We're going to dissolve. I get that little edge in there. Looks good. That should stay. And watch, they talk about Sparks Brothers for the after party. Ooh. Well, that's right. You always have the after party too. The main show and then the after party. Signing you to Soul. And the odds are, if that's screwed up, these are probably screwed up too. Funny how that happens. Clean those up. What are you doing over there? That's in the wrong spot. I'm going to have to try to fix that. I may have moved something that I didn't mean to move. I feel like that's what half of what I do is fix stuff I broke. Okay, for some reason, stuff over here got over there. I probably slid it off somewhere or something. Grab that point, maybe that point. I think if we just pull these. You know what it is? I was sliding these and I probably went that way instead of that way. It's a lot like life. Yeah. Half of what you do is fixing stuff that you broke. I think that's good. All right, I'm going to do a little bit of a rise for an insole in here. So we're going to select all of this, and then I'm going to do an inset, pull it up, and give it a little bit of shape. Do that. I do this. Does that work? That kind of works. That means I'm going to do a little bit of a... So I don't actually need that, so just dissolve that back out. Excellent. I'm just going to hide. I just select that all the way around. I can, and then I can hide that. Then I can just select this. Then I can just I can do an inset now on that. Bring that all up a little bit. And like that. I can do another inset on that. Maybe just bring that down a little bit. And we're going to assign that to be an insole. Just a bunch of monkeys and t-shirts running around trying to fix the thing we broke before it's too late. That's right. Yeah, I'm going to add a little bit of more soul to this too. Going to be another little insect kind of like that. I just, you know what? If I put a mark a seam in here, then I can probably just select. Do this. I can just do that. Root along normal. Put a little cut in there. Get rid of these extra lines here. Here. That kind of gives me that little soul detail. Okay, so that's going to be, I'm going to have a soul. So I have a soul top, soul bottom. Let's do that. I think if I can just select that and hide it. Oops. Let's try. All right, let's go into that. Select this. H that. Select that. Hide those. All right, we're going good. Did I not assign my insole? Damn it! Assign that to the insole. I can hide that, and then I can control and select connected. Assign all of that to the insole as well. Yay. And this right here will become part of soul top. I can hide that. Actually, you know, easier. Hide this. And that's all soul top in there. Hey, art's back. And there was much rejoicing. Hide you. Select you. Am I good? I think I'm good. I'm going to make that soul bottom. Find that. Let's get some colors here. Just make sure. In straps, underside. So I think I'm good. All right. Making progress. So now I just need to add the buckle. I could put holes in this manually, but I think I'm just going to add them in textures. And if I put a step-D modifier on here, I want to see how it looks. Yeah, I think I'm heading in the right direction. I think I called age. So I think I can round this out a little bit more. Okay, and somewhere we're going to put a buckle in here. I should just make a buckle. Let's see how. Let's take a look at our inspiration. Got it. Okay. And I got to add a little strappy thing on there as well. Um. I'm thinking. I think I've got it. Hi, George. I think I'm going to do. Where am I? I'm in object mode. Shift A. I'm going to make a plane. Tap in. Scale it down. I'm in. I don't know. Why are you not in the middle? Because you are working on a local scale. I'm going to switch to global for just a little while here. You know, that is kind of squarish. The Control Shift B lets me bevel those. I'm going to put a little bit of curve on that. I'm going to convert this to a curve. We're going to pipe it. And then I'm going to convert it back to a mesh. And that'll be the start of the buckle. Yep, let's do that. Object curve, object to convert to a curve. Come over here. Is it geometry? Round 0.1, 0.001, 0.01, maybe a little less than that. I'm still going to make this smaller still. Point. Actually, I want to smooth those curves out, but we'll do this in a second. Point. Oh. I think 01, 02. Yeah, let's do that. Right. You know, let's just select everything. Set it to Bezier. And then can I just line or something like that? Is it what happens? Automatic. Probably good. Grab these. Can I grab both of these? Yay. And I can just smooth that out like that. I think that's good. Let's lower the resolution on that. We're going to probably put a smoothing modifier on this at some point. That too. You know, I am going to dial that. Yeah, I think I'm going to live with that. And what I need to do is, can I just Shift D and G, then E? Yay! I was hoping that would work. This will become the I don't know, what do you call it, the tongue? Where are you looking funny? Oh, I know. I know where I went wrong. I'm gonna tweak this a little bit. Right about here, I should have just rotated these. I inadvertently scaled out my handles. Now I think I can. There we go. I'm going to somehow turn that into a. Although this needs to be a little bit smaller. I will make this small. Do I want to? Actually, I'm going to separate you out. This way I can make that one thinner like that. There we go. Then I'm just going to. Let's see. How do you do this? You come through. Come up here. I don't have a belt in my room, so I can't kind of remember how a belt's actually. I'm gonna set up about here. You're gonna come into about here. Then I'm gonna wrap you around. Kind of like that. Yo, Blux, how are you doing today? Do I want that to be maybe a little bit smaller? Maybe. Oops. Yeah, I did. Why did I not GY0 and you didn't move? Damn you. Supposed to be right there. We do that. I think that's going to be good. We're going to finish it up a little bit. That's in the ballpark. Then I just have to kind of line that up on the shoe. That's going to come up and under. Let's make it. Let's do these. Let's hide the originals. Can I just combine these with a J? Are these still curves? They are still curves. Yay. I don't want them to be curves anymore, though. I want them to be convert to mesh. Is that in here? Convert to mesh. There it is. You know what? I think I'm going to UV. I'm going to finish this off. I'm going to close this up, give it a little bit of a shape. I'm going to set up the UV options on this. Let's do that. Why, that's a lot of. Let's back that up again. How come you're so smooth? Is there a. Convert to mesh. Yeah, that just got me too much. Is there decimate? Maybe I can round it out and unsubdivide. Let me try that. Well, I thought there was an option for the stuff in the curves. I think I just missed it. Go back into here. Let me see. Oh, there it is, to the resolution. Duh. that'll be better. So once again, convert. I've lost the convert because I'm in edit mode. I still want it to be a little simpler than that. What if I say 1? What if I say 2? 2 makes me happy. That's fine. That's fine. I can live with that. Okay, let's cap this off. Kind of like that. I'm going to just maybe flatten it down a little bit in here. Here. Cap off this. That. Let me adjust. I want to just pull you down kind of like that. Probably fine. And if I am working with one level of subdivision on this, let's see what it looks like. Yeah, that'll be fine. And you're probably not even going to see this. I'm going to move that stuff up then. All right, and then let's join that to that. Actually, I wanted to set up my UV mapping on this before I jump over to that while it's still kind of easy to get at it. And you know what? I'm going to be bad. I'm going to put a cut right there. I have a couple of tries on the ends of these. Just because it's going to make my UV mapping a little easier to work with. I can't see what I'm doing. There we go. Right now, let's see. Nope. That go all the way around? Yay. All right, I'm going to mark a seam there. I want to mark a seam there. Seam on the inside. That was a sharp. That is a seam. Apparently, I marked a sharp over here too. Yeah. I'm always doing that. Mark seam. All right, let's see how that goes. E-A-U. Unwrap. And I should have like 4 little pieces. Yay. Let's give this a material before I forget about it. Buckle. Navy with the cap lock not on. And should be assigned because it's the only material in there. And then let's do RX90. RZ90. That go the wrong way? That did go the wrong way. Yep, that's kind of the way I want that. Looking at the wrong way. Looking at it the wrong way. There we go. So I'm going to put that in over here. Maybe a little bit larger. Now I'm just gonna just get in here, kind of nudge it around. I need to see the foot just to make sure I don't inadvertently. Oh, I got plenty of room. Okay. That's gonna sit like that. It's just about 4 o'clock. I'm gonna try to tweak this strap just a little bit before we call it a day. So just needs to see what a buckle looks like because I'm already forgetting. There was my shoe. So these need to sit. I need to rotate you a bit like that because that needs to sit kind of like that. And actually, you need to be rotated in a little bit. You're actually supposed to be touching that. I'm close. Oh no, that didn't. There we go. Probably good enough. And then I'm going to adjust this strap to come up over that. And this strap, ideally, this actually should line up right about in there. So I'm going to need to take this, wrap it around that, and then I need to take this and it has to come up over that. And I think that's good. I think I'm just going to make a couple adjustments to that. And we're going to call it here for the day. So, that kind of is working. Let's use a little bit of proportional editing. Let's do connected only. Let me see if I orient on normals. You know, I could put a face in there and that would help things. And then when I'm done, I can get rid of that face. Of course you're not straight. Why would you be straight? I think that's going to work. I have to put a little strappy piece back here. I'll probably do something like duplicate that. Maybe scale it a little bit. Grab some faces here. Pull them out that way. Let's turn off the proportional editing. So I'm going to turn that into a little strappy piece here. If I can just select faces I'm looking for. There we go. And then I'm going to add a little bit of depth to that, and it should be fine. So that's where we're going to leave off for today. I got half a shoe. So, and this is going to be part of a keeper for, is that what that is? Keeper for the strap end? That's what we got. Keeper for the strap end. So, making progress. This outfit is got its, we got our belt, our bag. We got our dress. I've started to do the textures on the dress. And we're adding nice little casual sandals to go with that. So thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. What is today? It's Monday. That means I will be back tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Hey, everybody who's on YouTube, I appreciate that. Nice to see you guys. And Twitch, we're going to raid out. So let's find somebody to go say howdy to. Always a pleasure seeing everybody, even Blux. And hey, make sure you're following CS Bond. He's a cool cat. He may actually stream again. We co-streamed a few weeks back. It was cool. Oh yeah, it's CS Bond. Oh, now I gotta find a sound effect for Blux. Damn it. I just know too many cool people who need their own customized sound effects. So we did manage to add a couple more today. We got one for Atherin. So Atherin's got his sound effect. And we added one for Emerga. And now I want a beer for some reason. Art out loud. Yes. All right. Let's find somebody to raid and call it a day. Thank you all for being here. I may end up working with these on stream. I always get a little motivated once I get started on these. So by the time we get back, it may actually be done. We're really close to the modeling portion. So I basically just have to finish tweaking this. I don't think I'm going to put the holes in with just textures, I think. And then I got to set up the UV mapping. But we got the materials kind of nicely set up, so that shouldn't go too hard. And I know this sandal had a little roundy thing on there. I'm not doing that. And can I just do this? Control J. Do they become one? And did you not smooth? Shade smooth. That looks better. But anyhow, let's find somebody ready to call it a day. Appreciate it. What are we doing? Who's on in the Twitchverse today? Yep, that's sound effects. Hey, thanks for being here, Maria. Glad to catch you, man. All right, I'm scrolling down. And SROM, yeah, I'm sorry I didn't catch your stream Saturday. On Saturdays, I'm just tired and I forget. Acellus is doing animals in aquariums. Let's see if we still have light in Scotland. If we're still got light in Scotland, we're going to go over and look at a garden in Scotland. It's exciting. There may be birds. Let me just double check who else is on. But I think that might be the plan, to just hang out with our buddy's garden. Also, my other friends, the Socially Distanced, have a new bird cam on YouTube. I'm going to give them a quick shout out here. Hold on. There will be more Saturdays. Ain't dead yet. I'm getting better. Loyal Patsy. And I forgot what I'm doing. I'm looking for YouTube. That's right. I'm following bird feeder streams in Canada. That's what I'm gonna point you all to our good friend, the Socially Distanced Bird stream on YouTube in Canada. It should be on. What are they calling themselves these days? Maybe not. Where is it? Reed Trimmer, Pirate Software, Young Turks, I don't see them on. Dang it. I just it was something like Windsor Bird Feeder or something like that. Monday night. Is that tonight? I mean, is that on now? That's on now. We can rate that. 8 p.m. Eastern Time. There you go, Josh Uwu. Check out Josh Uwu. I peeked a little bit on Josh's stream, I think, Saturday. I forgot what he was playing. He does movie nights. I think he was well into the movie by the time I caught him, so I didn't stick around. It was a movie I did want to watch, and now I've already forgotten what it was. Dang. Anyhow, let's I'm just gonna raid out. I'm not finding the bird link. I'll try to remember to get the bird link later. But I'm gonna leave you hanging out in a cool garden. I'm still getting ads. YouTube knows when you've clicked away from the tab and punishes you. They're getting too clever for this shit, I swear. Anyhow, here's where we're heading. We're going to go over and hang out in Celis Australius' garden. If you can join us, that would be cool. We have the raid commands. If you're not a sub, use that. If you are a sub, use this. Hey, feel free to join the Discord. If you post stuff in the Discord, we will share it on Saturdays, 8 p.m. for the Saturday night social. So there is all of that. Let me copy my raid. Let me start this raid, and we'll call it a day. You're not ready. Get ready, quick! Get ready, you got time. Raid. I gotta copy and paste this because I'm terrible at spelling Acellus. And then you combine that with an Australius, and I'm totally lost. All right, raid has been started. I got 2 viewers ready to raid. I got 4 viewers ready to raid. There's 5, 7. All right, looks good. All right, thank you all for being here. Hope you all have a good rest of a Monday or Tuesday for those of you on the happy side of the planet. And hasta la vista, baby.